I've got some roaches right here. You know, I don't think I could win, but he knows that it might not be enough to definitively push through, so he's going to push out. At this point, I've got to commit, I've got to move my roaches in, and pulls that force field. I'm just going to pull back. You know, that spine's going to buy me a few seconds right here. I'm going to let him target that, get some more lanes, and again, run around, try to get that surround, because you can't let him force field you. Your lanes really have to surround the enemies right here, so trying to pick off a few of these sentries. My roaches just lining up. When you have Zerglings and roaches fighting these guys, the Stalkers will focus on your Zerglings, your fodder, and right here I'm continuing to build more Zerglings, just sending in Zerglings, pumping them out. He's trying to send in reinforcements. This is a big battle. Well, it was a bigger battle. Now it's a little bit more small scale for this expansion right here. And more Zerglings, just need to continually pump out those units, just bring them out and just send them in. Even if it's only a few, they're going to make a difference. So right now, he's pulling back. I forced him to retreat. Let's check out that income again. My 33 harvesters to his 24. I've been collecting an extra 9 harvesters on him this entire time. Have I lost? You know, let's check out units lost right here. As far as it goes, he's lost almost double me in resources. I have way more harvesters than him right now. My early expansion strategy has definitely paid off because he's looking at a base right here that's nearing that half mined out spot. He doesn't even have a nexus up for an expansion right now, and at this point I can happily build military units. And in all of the chaos, I completely forgot to tech the lair. I went and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna build some mutas. I'm gonna start harassing the hell out of this guy, and I'm like, wait, I don't have that. So I'm getting a lair at, you know, let's speed this up a little. No need for normal right now. At 11 minutes into the game, this is just ridiculous. And now he's throwing down the Nexus. And this is one thing that's interesting about this build, is just look how quickly he's able to replenish that army. Again, you know, that's a decent looking force right there. But my superior economic game right now is paying off, where I'm able to build up quite a few more troops now. As you can see, I just barely pulled that away. I barely won that one, so I'm not saying that, you know, you will win this every time, but a lot of times that fast expansion as a Zerg and getting those extra minerals up, you know, you need to have that initial force to at least hold it back, but then if you can just continue off a 2-base with queens, pumping out the units, you know, you can really cause a lot of hurt to that Protoss army, because chances are doing this, they've won base. That Nexus is either going up or it might not even be up. And I'm still looking at having a lot more harvesters, which means that I've just collected a lot more resources, a lot more gas than he has this entire time. We take a look at the army tab right here. No, still, even off of this one base, he's matching the units spent for army. My food count is way higher, though. That's just due to the cost of the Protoss army, though, but these units stronger than many individual Zerg units. And my Spire is going up right here, and right now, knowing that my Spire is going up and that I have a pretty substantial army, I haven't scouted, but my assumption is that he's in kind of a bind, because I didn't think that he would have had an expansion up, and I'm just kind of biding my time. I'm making sure that I've got decent saturation. If we go back to the income tab right here, 39, I really could be doing a lot better, actually. I've had these bases up long enough, and with that secure spot, I should have macroed up, I should have droned up even harder in that lull, but I think that attack just had me focusing purely on military, and right now I'm waiting for the Spire to pop. As you can see, I've got a lot of stored up minerals, I've got a lot of stored up gas. Food count could be a little bit higher. I'm about to build another Overlord just to help take care of that, and it pops. I'm going for +1 melee attack, +1 ranged attack, 12 Mutalisks right out of the box. This is what I want right here. So Ling, Roach, Mutalisk, this is a tough army for a lot of Protoss to deal with, because gateway units, Mutalisks, Lings, and Roaches do very well against. These Lings are just going to get the surround in on these Stalkers. Stalkers have such a low, you know, fire rate, DPS, that these Lings just rip them apart once they surround them. The Mutalisks are great for picking off Zealots and Sentries, and the splash damage even does well against a lot of the other units out in the field. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to separate my army. There's no need talking about Zerg position. I'm going to drop this proxy pylon over here, and I am getting a Glio reconstitution here because I do want my Roaches to be able to move faster, because I don't know if this attack is necessarily going to finish him, but what I do, and I'm going to slow down so I have a second to talk here, move my Mutalisks into the back right here. I'm going to move them right up in front of this tall grass so they can be in perfect position to attack, because I sent in one Ling earlier in the game, and that Ling told me that there's a big mass of Stalkers right here. So right now, the battle plan, I'm going to stop them right over here, and I actually want to see what he sees. So right now, he sees a few Zerglings, but he really doesn't know what's about to come at him, so let's speed this up. I don't know why I want to speed it up, but what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to send these guys in the back. I'm going to start attacking some of the workers. The hope, right here, he pulls them back just like I wanted him to. Run those Zerglings in. Get that surround in on them. And then pull the Mutalisks back for a second, let him attack. Right here, he throws up the Guardian Shields to pick off those Stalkers. Don't let them do any more of that. And right here, this is basically game. I've got a lot of Roaches on the field. I've got plenty of Mutalisks in there. He's going to GG right here. And he is going to comment on, YouTube. And I guess he's had a small losing streak, so I feel bad for the guy, but, I tried to tell him he almost had me right as he leaves the game. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I think that there's a lot of good tactical stuff that went on in the game. There's nothing overly, exciting. It's a standard play from the Protoss. I think if you're a pro-level gamer, or maybe even someone who's Diamond, a standard response. But for me, this was a huge victory because, usually the early expansions for me fall to this early Protoss aggression, but I was really happy that I was able to hang on to this against a player who, I would think is equal, if to myself in terms of skill, another Platinum level player who's played a lot of games. It's not like he's new and just got placed in Platinum, but, taking that expansion early on as Zerg, if you see that they're going to go for this, if they drop that Cyber Core, that's 150 minerals, and then if that they were going to drop 3 more gateways right there, they're not dropping a Nexus anytime soon, and doing that, plus with droning up and having to build pylons, you can bet that they're not going to attack until, around that 8 or 10 minute mark, which will give you, especially with this beautiful little game timer that Blizzard has given you over here, it can give you an idea what you're going to need to face. And realistically speaking, if you can't if you can't spend all your minerals off of this one hatchery or one lair anyway, why not expand? There's no reason not to, because if you can get it up and if you can start mining off of it and use it to help burn through that extra mineral quicker, that puts you in a position you want to be in, because this build, he's dumping everything. He's going all out into this. You sit here and turtle up, even if you're building Roaches, even if you're trying to quick tech to Muta, you might win, but you're not doing everything that you could, because even if you win that battle, you put yourself still in the same position that the Protoss is in, and you could transition into Colossi and ruin whatever you have. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. And by the way, I could have done a way better job spreading my creep, but we're just going to ignore that and say that I was awesome anyway for this game. This is Malikicowtipper signing out.